Welcome, everybody. To all who are here in the sanctuary, or connecting with us through technology, or watching this after the fact, I welcome you to People's Church. My name is Linda Levy. I serve on your board of trustees. Worship today is led by our minister, the Reverend Carin Bringelson, our interim director of faith formation. Oops, I'm sorry, I skipped. Our worship associate is Robin Meisler-Kubanek. And our interim director of faith formation, Bridget Laughlin. We also have Rishi Wagle on piano and our special musicians, Castle Ridge. All people of goodwill are welcome here at People's Church. As an official welcoming congregation, we celebrate and honor your sexual orientation, gender expression, and gender identity. We also celebrate and honor your immigration status, whatever it may be, your race, ethnicity, and cultural background, and your journeys with faith and doubt. Additionally, we celebrate and honor your comfort and discomfort with money, your bodies of all sizes and shapes, your abilities and disabilities, both invisible and visible, your age and generational perspectives, and so much more. Whoever you are accepted, just exactly as you are. A special welcome goes out to any newcomer joining worship today. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, please contact the church office, or if you're here in person, please fill out a green card, which you can find in the pew rack in front of you, and place it in the offering plate as it gets passed later in the service. This Saturday, December 13th, from 2 to 4 p.m., everyone is in next Saturday. This coming Saturday. It is this next Saturday, December 13th, from 2 to 4 p.m. Everyone is invited to an afternoon of holiday crafting. We will be making props for our Christmas Eve pageant while enjoying cookies and each other's company. See Bridget with questions. Finally, during this month, in which our theme is Choosing Hope, is that? Three is gone. Page. Okay, everybody. We have additional information. Pages got stuck together. Following today's shorter than usual worship, all are invited to participate in, this is so important, how could I skip this page, or observe the congregational meeting. If you're a member, you get to vote. And if you haven't signed in with us yet, that you're registered, we can do that after the service. Everyone is invited to participate. Secretary Josh Wagner is at the back, the board secretary, and he can help you on your way out if you haven't registered yet. Or please raise your hands so he can get you a voting card. Even though we will not be having coffee hour, we hope you chat with each other online and in person after the meeting. If you have an order of service, please look at the back and consider if there is something you'd like to get involved with here in our vibrant congregation. I especially want to point out that all are invited to participate in the Guest at Your Table initiative. It helps to raise money for our partners around the world who are working with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. You can find a template, which is a couple of pieces of paper that are hanging out on our bulletin board. Ask Reverend Carin or Bridget if you have any questions, okay? Now, this Saturday, December 13th, from 2 to 4, everyone is invited to an afternoon of holiday crafting. And again, we will be making props for our Christmas Eve pageant while enjoying cookies Yum, and each other's company. And we will again see Bridget with questions. Finally, during this month, in which our theme is Choosing Hope, we hope you'll extend a great big thank you to the behind-the-scenes people who have been making today's gathering possible, including faith formation adults who worked with our children and youth, Cheyenne Williams, Erin Wild, and Megan Murphy Sawyer. Child care providers for our congregational meeting, Cheyenne Williams and Erin Wild. Matt Wild on internet outreach, Bill Hart and Terry Dieterman on the sound system, and the greeters, Joy Winey and Steve Hirschner. With a sense of gratefulness for this time of being together, I invite you into a moment of awareness, which will begin and end with the ringing of our singing bowl.
The bark of life is tossing down the troubled stream of time. Since first I saw your smiling face and youth was in its prime, oh, I'll never forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. Misfortune nursed me as her child, loved me fondly too. I would have had a broken heart had it not been for you. Oh, I'll never forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. I now look back upon the past, across life's troubled sea, and smile to think through all I've seen, you've been that friend to me. Oh, I'll never forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. If ever
takes a village. Thankfully, we have one here. Come into this place with your whole self, writes the Reverend Margaret Wees. Come into this place with your whole self. The parts that are raw and exposed, the part that is beaming with joy, the part that is seeking the truth anew, the possibility. Come into this place, open your heart, lay down your burden, lift up your hope for something new to happen. Come into this place with your fellow travelers on the journey, some faces new and others familiar, all welcoming you here, now, to this moment. Come, let us worship together. As Bridget comes forward to light our chalice in the tradition of our Unitarian Universalist ancestors, I invite those of you online to light a candle nearby or to hold a warm intention in your heart. And also, if you are online, I invite you to find a piece of paper and something to write or draw with, because you will need that later. And as we are willing and able, I invite you to join in our chalice lighting words, which you'll see on our screen. As together we say, we light our chalice today, knowing that our hope and our passion are needed to change the world. We bring different gifts to the work, but we come together in one faith, that what we do makes a difference, both to our world and in ourselves.
As you are willing and able, please join in reading aloud our chalice lighting words as together we say, oh, I'm sorry.
Of this church,
It's going to be one of
and
those mornings.
service is this law.
This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Let's help one another. Now, our gathering hymn today is number 347, Gather the Spirit, found in the hardcover hymnal and also on the screens. I invite you now to rise in body and or spirit to sing together, Gather the Spirit.
Gather the Spirit, harvest of love, our separate fires kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of the Son,
Hope, huh? Whole new theme. So if you look in your orders of service, you should have a card. If you do not have one, please raise your hand and the ushers or greeters will bring you one. Okay. So around the world for thousands of years, members of our human family have found ways to say, you are not alone. Others have journeyed the place where you find yourself, and we journey with you now. There are many ways for us to give one another strength, courage, and love. The slip of paper in your order of service is how we're going to do that today. And the chat room online. For those of you who are online, if you haven't gotten a piece of paper, please do. Later you'll be invited to type into the chat. This is going to be an exercise of care, trust, vulnerability, courage, and love. To name on paper a struggle in your life and the hope that lives inside you as you struggle. Do not write your name on the paper, but know that your hope will be read out loud later in the service by someone other than you. So try to write as clearly as you can. If you need to, use the back of the paper, but be brave enough to answer these two questions. In my life right now, I'm struggling with blank. And in that struggle, one thing I hope for is blank. For example, I wrote mine ahead of time. In my life right now, I'm struggling with how to best connect the children and youth to the rest of this congregation and to Unitarian Universalists in general. And in this struggle, one thing I hope for is for the entire congregation to participate enthusiastically and have the courage to try new things. I've been really lucky with that so far. In our Wonder Box today, we have a couple examples of that. One is our multi-generational forums that we've been having every month on the book Social Change Now. We've had 3 so far. They've been amazing. If you haven't been to one, I encourage you to come to the next one. It's January 18th at 9:45 in the Ely room. And as they announced earlier, on the 13th, Saturday afternoon, we're going to be having a crafting and cookies and community gathering. So I encourage all of you to come, get to know each other, have some fun, bonding, and meet all our children that show up too. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of minutes to let you quietly write or draw while Rishi plays some music for us. And if you're online, please type your hope only into the chat. We will write them onto a card for you. Those of you in this, okay, and then, yeah.
I think Carin is going to be one of them.
Okay, for those of you in the sanctuary, we are going to pass our cards to the center aisle, and we will pick them up. While we're singing our traveling tune, Where You Go, I Will Go.
As Unitarian Universalists, we hold shared values, including one called justice, which means that we work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all feel welcome and can thrive. This also means that we promise to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression, and we support the use of inclusive democratic process to make decisions within our congregations, our society, and, our association and society at large. In order to live out our value of justice every day, we draw inspiration from a wide variety of resources, including direct experiences of transcending mystery and wonder, and sacred, secular, and scientific understandings that help us to make meaning. Today's source of inspiration comes from a reflection entitled Practicing Democracy, written by Shaya French, who was loved, nurtured, and radicalized by the UU youth community. Shaya writes the following. I was 17 when I learned what democracy was. I was with 75 young people at the Youth Empowerment and Spirituality, or YES, UU conference on Star Island as we chose our leader for next year's conference. It had only been a week, but I loved these people, and I was so damn impressed. The candidates had given short speeches about their hopes and commitments and left the room. And we were left to decide. Each person who spoke did so constructively and kindly. People spoke about their leadership skills and how they felt in their presence. One friend of a candidate shared a concern about how one of the potential leaders managed their many competing priorities, and then we voted anonymously. When I reflect on what made the yes elections work, despite disappointment by those who weren't chosen, I think it's because of the time we spent building relationships. Our nightly worship services were about connecting with each other and feeling part of a whole, more than about our individual faith journeys. We'd taken time to hang out casually, to build connection. In that election, we were able to think beyond who we liked best and think about what the group needed most. When I think about how democracy takes shape in a country of 330 million people, it seems almost inconceivable that we're talking about the same process as my 75-person youth conference used. But it gives me hope, too, that it's possible to learn self-governance in the decisions we make in our families, schools, congregations, and conferences. Having relationships where we can speak truth to one another and disagree requires that we invest in each other. It means we must care about something bigger than ourselves, and these are skills that we get to practice every month of the year, not just in November. Each and every time we make a decision with another person or a group of people, we can practice democracy. Are we listening deeply to another? Does everyone who wants to get to speak? Am I clear whether I'm speaking up for my own wants or needs or the good of the group? Are we following our own norms and values? And perhaps most importantly, have we worked to build our relationships and truly know each other so we can respect each other when we disagree? Here ends the reading. Now please join in singing our next hymn, We Have Enough, which is our hymn of the month and comes from our virtual hymnal, which is available at singoutlove.org. For those of you who like to read music, please let an usher know. They'll bring you a printed copy if you don't already have one. And since this is our first time singing We Have Enough as a congregation, Carin, Rishi, and Carin are going to sing it through one verse and invite you to sing on the second and third verses. As we sing and repeat the chorus as needed, helpers are going to redistribute the cards that we wrote earlier. We want every person who filled out a card to now receive someone else's card. So if you happen to get your own, please give it back and we'll mix it back into the collection. Now please rise in body and spirit to sing together our hymn of the month, We Have Enough.
And this is how it goes.
In those long nights when we can't sleep and our worries whisper in our ear, we need a voice that will remind us that we are always greater than our fears. We have enough time, we have enough courage.
may be seated. So part 2 of our time together today comes from the one that Bridget started, which is holding the hope for one another. So in this congregation, we make one another brave. We give one another peace. We hold the hope for one another. As theologian Paul Waddle says, hope has to be seen to be believed. It has to be made visible. It has to be something we can feel and touch. We are called to be the persons who embody hope for one another. We have to be each other's partners in hope. This is our way of being partners in hope. You are holding someone's struggle and their hope. And if you're not, raise your hand because I have an extra one up here. Take a moment to read those words on the card in front of you. You don't know who wrote them. This struggle and this hope could belong to the person you most admire in our congregation, or they could belong to the person who annoys you the most. Those words might have been written by the person sitting next to you, or someone online, or someone sitting at the back or in the front. Take those words in and offer up some loving kindness to the unknown person who made themselves vulnerable. Let us now be each other's partners in hope. We're going to pass around a microphone so everyone can hear you read aloud the hope that is written on the paper. So only the hope, not the struggle, okay? And after you read it, we're all going to respond with, we hold the hope for you. So let's practice that. We hold the hope for you. So we have a microphone around here somewhere. And I'm going to ask Robin to start by reading her hope.
Feeling better.
We hold the hope for you.
To focus better.
We hold the hope for you.
To move back to democracy.
We hold the hope for you.
Connection.
Peace and resolution.
Grace and forgiveness when I fall short.
To feel joy again.
Peace.
Appreciation anyway.
Finding time
to meet all my obligations.
Strength to carry on.
Understanding.
The ability and luck in sewing a new job. Acceptance of others.
Meeting the responsibilities for commitments I have willingly and lovingly made to others.
Continue to feel the love, joy we have always had together.
I hope that more people in our country will awaken to love and caring versus hate and revenge.
I can still appreciate the good in life with the bad.
Inspiration from family, friends, and church.
I hope that our leader will help the people in need.
Healing in many ways.
My hope is for my mother to continue to recover from her TBI and stroke.
Meeting new people.
I have the time and energy to create one or more of those experiences that create a holiday season for my loved ones and myself that feels loving and heartwarming.
Courage.
Hope Republicans in Congress will assert themselves and defend our democracy.
Hope that the power of kindness and empathy will recover and become part of our community fabric.
Emotional strength to continue reaching out to old and new friends.
That the life I create and bring into this world will be a source of light and goodness.
Remember to look into the light. Be the light.
The ability to be patient with my mother and with myself.
Learning to better prioritize things in my life.
Daring to take one small step each day to organize myself.
Please take this piece of paper with you and put it somewhere where you will see it and encounter it a few times this week. And when you do, imagine the unknown person and their struggle and send them your loving kindness. Keep holding the hope for them all week long. And if for any reason you don't feel up to that, which is possible, bring it up to me again and I'll hold it for them and for you during my own practice this week. Let us move forward, our lives and our hearts interconnected in life-giving ways, grateful for this community of vulnerability, truth, and hope.
As we continue to hold hope for one another, I invite you into a time of hope and generosity. As our special musicians make their way forward, please know that the offering we collect today will go to support the mission of People's Church, which is leading compassionate lives through spiritual growth and just action. In addition to having the option of putting cash or a check into the offering plate being passed here in the sanctuary, you can also donate by mailing a check to the church, online at peoplesuu.org, or using the Vanco mobile app. And now, with a spirit of choosing hope, this morning's offering will be gratefully given and lovingly received.
If the morning star still disappears behind the sky of blue, if people rise and go to work just like they always do, as long as young hearts fall in love and kids keep growing tall, with the earth below and sky above, there's hope for one and all. If the moon still moves the deep blue sea and rules the hearts of men, if the world keeps turning quietly, then here we go again. If the winter grass turns April green when the rains begin to fall, if there's water flowing from the stream, there's hope for one and all. There's hope for you and me, my friends, with our backs against the wall. If there's water flowing from the stream, there's hope for one and all. If a man still does the best he can, even when no one cares, if mothers rock their babes to sleep and say a little prayer, if the old car starts when the wind blows cold, way down in the fall, if there's one good spark in the fallen dark, there's hope for one and all. There's hope for you and me, my friends, with our backs against the wall. If there's one good spark in the fallen dark, there's hope for one and all. There's hope for you and me, my friends, with our backs against the wall. If there's one good spark in the fallen dark, there's hope for one and all. If there's one good spark in the fallen dark, there's hope for one and all.
Thank you. Thank you for all the ways that you embody generosity. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. And now we enter into a time of prayerful meditation, a time to silently acknowledge your great joys and deep sorrows. Robin will start by lighting a candle in honor of those who do not have shelter from the cold and the storms. For those who want to come forward in silence, you can choose either a candle to place in the sand or a stone to place in our communal sacred water. And after the candles are lit and the stones are placed, I'll invite everyone to name aloud that which stirs your hearts, whether or not you choose to come forward. And so now, all who would like are now invited forward down the center aisle and return to your seat by the side aisles. As you are willing and able, please join me in a time of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love, of wholeness and of hope, we know that the candles and stones and chats in the Zoom room are mere symbols of all that we carry in our hearts. And yet we lift them up in this space so that our joys and gratitudes might be amplified and our sorrows and burdens might be lifted. In a spirit of communal sharing, let us now name aloud everything for which we are seeking a loving witness. For all that was named and all that remains unnamed, we ask that it all be held with love, compassion, and hope. May it be so, and amen. We have a special event today. And so to help us transition into our congregational meeting, our musical moment for movement invites all to stretch and wiggle and move. And as we are preparing to practice our democracy here with a sense of hope and joy, Castle Ridge will play some music to help us transition. So anyone who is not willing and able to stay for the congregational meeting is invited to leave during the music. No one will be offended. Children and youth will be following Aaron Wild and Cheyenne Williams to play games somewhere. Maybe the Ely room, maybe downstairs. It's up to them, up to the grown-ups. So we look forward to your music.
You probably like to be in the same key.
Okay, ready? You did it great. Wonderful. You're up.
So for those online, we are finishing up the checking in, and if you have not yet checked in through Zoom, please let Matt and Linda know. And we're also handing out the ballots, paper ballots for the social justice vote that will happen later in the meeting. You should have a link in chat to reach the ballot online so that you can submit your votes for our organizations as well. Also, that QR code goes to the agenda. All right. Mr. Secretary. Josh. Mr. Secretary, do we have quorum? Yes. Thank you. Woo, okay, so that means that I can call the meeting to order with these words from Heather Genuels. From the power of our memory and history, with high hopes for the days that lie ahead, we gather to craft the destiny we share with one another. We gather with faith in the practice of democracy. We gather with hearts and minds open to the wisdom in every voice among us. In our gathering, may we dream and design a bold future. May we bring our best selves to this service, and may we dream these dreams and do this work with love. So may it be. Josh, you are up.
Does anyone need the QR code again shown on the screen so you can get access to the... Raise your hand if you'd like that QR. Here's the QR code if you want access to the agenda. I see someone. You're seeing it.
Everybody having their phones out, taking pictures of up here. It's like, what did I do? Do I look weird? All right, so I guess the first order of business would be to approve the minutes for the May congregational meeting. And so for that, I would make a motion to approve and move forward. Second? Okay. And then now I guess we would put this to a vote. Oh, I guess, do we have any discussion first of said minutes? I guess hearing none, then we would move to a vote. All in favor, raise. Who's counting? This looks like it is. Yeah, any opposed? Cool, then yes, May minutes are approved. Oh, I guess, yeah, any online that were opposed, I'm sorry. Checking in. No opposed online? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. And thank you for the honor of serving as your called minister for the last almost 2.5 years. Given this political moment and this particular juncture that People's Church finds itself in, I've been reflecting a lot on the meaning of church. What is the meaning of church? What is our purpose? And depending on who you ask, church means different things to different people, and it looks different ways. So I'm just going to show 3 models of how we might think about church. And all of these come from a UU context, and I want us to think of these models as we think about our own church. what's going on here, what would be useful for us to consider as we go forward with our church life. So about 15 years ago, a social justice empowerment handbook included this model of church called the Gilbert model. It reminds me a little bit of our mission statement. So living compassionate lives would be the caring community through spiritual growth, which is the religious education or faith formation, and just action, which is the moral discourse and action part. At the center is what people usually experience when they first start exploring People's Church. That is worship and the celebration of life. Now, any single component of this model is not enough. We are more than a social club, more than an academic study, more than an activist organization. Those might stand alone in a different setting, but here for us at People's Church, each of these aspects is a vital part of the whole. Now, this model makes me ask questions like, how do these categories overlap and bleed into each other? Where are the dotted lines here? And how do we break down the silos between our traditional program areas? How do we encourage cross-pollination and collaboration? Then there's a second model. This next model is about growing membership depth and breadth by helping people engage in the life of the church. I first encountered this model last year or so, and it's shaped like a spiral path. It shows the path someone might take when getting involved. So people interested in People's Church might start out being curious and then are invited and welcomed and become visitors. They feel welcomed and have a sense of belonging, and then they start engaging on a regular basis, getting more and more connected. At some point, they consider themselves friends of the congregation, engaged in ways that speak to their gifts and strengths, eventually stewarding the congregation with their time, talent, and treasure. And over time, they are integrated into the congregation, serving as leaders and even eventually as elders on their own faith journey. So notice this model doesn't say how or where someone gets engaged and involved. Maybe it's through worship, or maybe it's through our website and social media. Maybe it's by participating in social justice actions or trying out faith formation opportunities. In this model, we don't see programs defined by lines and boundaries. Instead, there's a spiral movement, always being called into deeper engagement into the life of the congregation. The further that people move along that spiral, the richer the life of the congregation as a whole. And because the spiral journey is co-created by the people of this congregation, it's worth asking, where are you on your journey? And how might you invite people along on that spiral journey with you? And then there's a model I learned about just recently that is represented by this third image called Community Building Map to Deeper Joy. Now, it's a little bit hard to see if you're way in the back, but be like Kathleen and turn around and look at the back if you need to. The map of building community includes metaphors like bonding harbor, opening up beach, forest of affirmation. Watch out for those cliffs of exclusivity. Look for that covenant lighthouse. There are healing springs here. There is a stretching river. There are also canyons of deeper sharing if you are so brave. And if not, you can stay in the shallow, tepid bay. This model actually includes an evolving collection of games, songs, activities, and practices that are designed to help us foster inclusive, multi-generational congregations. The questions I have with this model include, what would we gain by experimenting with multi-generational community building? Are we open to deeper joy? Now, I share these models as resources to keep in mind as you reflect on the updates you're about to hear from the leadership today. Which of these models will help us move into what we, as a People's Church, are called to do next? And it can be more than one model, right? It's not an either or. We can do a both and here. So for my brief update today, I want to focus on the questions that you have alive and well within you. For me, much of my focus has been on the administry of this church, or the administration or personnel. It's taking a lot of my attention lately. And so I want to begin with deep gratitude for the staff that we have here at People's Church. We last met in May, thanks to those meeting minutes that got approved. And since that time, we have added 3 new staff members who are doing amazing work for this congregation. First is Bridget Laughlin. Please rise. Our creative and courageous interim director of faith formation. And we also have Rishi Wagle, our accompanist extraordinaire. And our third staff member, who is not here today, is Brittany Youngbear, who is our oh so helpful custodian. So we are grateful for her as well. Now, we can't forget our steady in a storm internet outreach technician, Matt Wild. And last but not least is David Kind, our congregational administrator. So please. Perhaps you have heard that David, who has been with us for about a little over a year, recently got some big news, and he moved to California to start seminary soon. Thankfully, David has agreed to continue working with us the best he can from afar until February, if we need him that long. So he's going to help me train a new congregational administrator once that person is hired. And of course, there's a lot he can't do from afar. So if you would like to help out in that temporary in-between time, please let me know. And also, I have a book for David that I'm inviting everyone to sign their favorite page. It's a book of the year, a meditation for each day of the year. So pick your favorite day and give him a well wish or a thank you in the book. I will leave it on our table. So in the meantime, I want to thank Kathy Juba for serving on the hiring team with me to search for a new congregational administrator. And thanks to you all for helping spread the word about this job opening. There are so many other thanks to give as well, because it's not just paid staff, but it's also our unpaid folks here who deserve thanks. I'm thinking of the worship associates and those who step in a pinch, the behind-the-scenes worship team, the greeters and the food bringers and the sound folks, our buildings and grounds team who help bring ramps to life, those who decorate our spaces, those who help spiff up the library, those who are serving on the board and the nominating committee, those who work with our children or our finances, or serve on our care team. There's just so many thanks to be given. And the other thing to remember is that there's not a single person doing the good work of this church who doesn't have something else also going on in their lives, right? We wrote on those cards of struggle and hope. everyone who is serving is doing what they can with what they have. And I'm so grateful for that generosity. I'm going to keep us moving, but if you have specific questions you would like me to address, please find me, and I want to make sure that we get your questions answered. I'm always open for a conversation and invite you to ask me any questions. And with that, I will turn it over to Bridget.
Well, it's only been 6 months that I've been here. Can you believe it? It feels like quite a bit longer. First, I want to thank all of the volunteers, the teachers, the families, everyone who has supported the Faith Formation program here at People's Church. I especially want to thank our Faith Formation Council, Megan Jones, Lou Wilcox, Emily Hoselton, and Cheyenne Williams, who is our newest member. In the past year, before I got here, the whole downstairs was redone beautifully and decorated and very thoughtfully put together so that it's really easy to have our programs down there. And I just want to thank everyone who participated in that. We have had a couple of community events this year. The youth helped host game night with the membership team. There was a Halloween party, costume contest. We had a multi-generational learning experience, the monthly forums that I talked about earlier. I have been working to form a stronger connection between the Faith Formation program and worship, bringing those aspects together, and hopefully you've been able to notice that a little bit. And I've been doing some professional development. I have attended some classes on Meet the Moment for religious educators. I've hired a consultant to talk about some of the challenges and unique aspects of this church and how we could address them. And so I'm really looking forward to the upcoming year. My primary goal, and the Faith Formation program's primary goal, is to build relationships. One of the issues that children and youth have in many UU congregations is that they are siloed from the rest of the congregation. And you all started out great by having multi-generational worship, which I am so happy about, but there can be more, right? There's one of my mentors said, some churches send the kids out after the time for all ages to do their classes then, and I think that was how this used to be. She's like, we spend 18 years sending them away and then expect them to come back. And that's not feasible, right? The thing that keeps the church growing, the thing that makes our community grow successfully is building relationships. And that means the people that you know and are comfortable with, and people that you don't know yet and maybe aren't as comfortable with. So in that spirit, my challenge for this year is that I want to focus more on community events that involve children and youth and adults. I'm going to be reaching out to you if you are a member of a team so that we can maybe coordinate some events together. I have some ideas for buildings and grounds. I have some ideas for membership. I have some ideas for worship. So when I come to you in the next, what? And social justice? Yes. So when I reach out to you, don't be surprised or scared. It'll be great. And I want to also help maybe focus on some community building, not just within these walls, but invite our neighbors to things. One of the challenges I've found is that we have so few children and youth that it's hard to have consistent programming. I think if we can focus more on our relationship building as a congregation, but among ourselves and outside these walls, that we can really bring in more people, we can learn more. And this was confirmed in the classes that I've taken and the consultations that I've done. So I'm going to be shifting more from curriculum-based programming on Sunday mornings to community-based activities. There will still be faith formation in the morning, but it will not be as curriculum heavy. The kids and youth will probably be working on setting up these kinds of activities and learning about our values through relationship. So thank you all for the wonderful welcome you've given me this year, and I really look forward to working with you all as we move forward.
And now I'm going to invite Lou up to read some words. Do you have the words? Okay.
On behalf of David, I don't have David's words. Thank you. The year in review. Since launching the Communications Refresh Initiative in August, People's Church has reshaped the way we share information and stay connected. This initiative introduced People's Church news in a modern blog-style format designed for both desktop and mobile devices, making it easier than ever for members and visitors to stay informed wherever they are. The weekly email has been reimagined into a clean, skimmable format that looks great on phones and tablets, while the voice newsletter has been redesigned with a clearer focus and visual appeal. Together, these updates reflect our commitment to clarity, accessibility, and connection in a mobile-first world. The impact has been remarkable. Since the launch, user engagement has increased by 68%, showing that our community is reading, clicking, and interacting more than ever before. The new mobile-friendly design means that people can explore upcoming events, news, and stories on the go, whether they're commuting, traveling, or enjoying a quiet moment at home. This shift to responsive, easy-to-navigate communications has brought People's Church digital presence in line with the way our members truly connect today. Behind the scenes, the Communications Refresh Initiative has also streamlined production and reduced administrative time needed to create and distribute content. With simplified workflows and integrated tools, staff and volunteers can focus more energy on storytelling, ministry, and mission-driven work. What began as a technical update has become a cultural shift, helping us build a sustainable, engaging, and accessible communications ecosystem that reflects the spirit of our congregation, connected, evolving, and grounded in community. Looking forward, People's Church is migrating from Microsoft Services to Google Workspace to reduce costs while improving accessibility and collaboration. Our analysis showed that Microsoft's licensing and storage fees were consuming a large portion of our administrative budget, whereas Google offers comparable functionality at a fraction of the cost. In the next few months, we will transition all records and documentation to domain-based emails under pcuu.org. This move will help us to create a unified, secure ecosystem for communication and record keeping. By consolidating access under our church domain, team members, committee chairs, and future leaders will be able to easily locate and share essential files and email history, even as roles change over time. The result will be a more transparent, collaborative, and enduring foundation for our congregation's work and legacy. Thank you. Those are the administrative updates from David Kind, who is in California, living his life.
Thank you, Lou. And now it is time for Marcia to come up for the social justice update and second Sunday plate collection vote.
everybody. I would like to start out by thanking those people who have participated this year on the Social Justice Committee. So if I call your name and you're here, just kind of wave. Kathy Yuba, Laura McGraw, Clarice Krippner. You're probably on Zoom, Clarice, you can wave. Rose Gabe, Jan Federer, Kathleen Mavidi, Christine Kuhlander, Chris Davis, Lou Wilcox, and Lori Neuerberg. So, and myself. And so the numbers of people participating is growing, participating in committee meetings. There are also a lot of people who participated in staffing our booth at Juneteenth and CR Pride this year. I don't have your names, but thank you to all of you who did that. And thank you, too, to those members of peoples who are going to the ICE office this year to participate in the rallies that are being held there. So thanks to everybody who helped out in social justice. Please applaud. Okay, the committee has decided that in 2026 we are going to continue with the 3 priorities we worked on in 2025. Those being LGBTQ+ rights, immigration, and Iowa water quality. I'd like to say just a few words about our reasoning for why we want to continue with these priorities and not develop new ones, and then we'll talk about the ballot. Everybody should have a ballot to vote for 4 organizations for the 2026 Second Sunday Plate Collection. So starting out with LGBT rights, we now have in Iowa a civil rights code that specifically excludes transgender individuals and non-binary individuals. That means that discrimination will be able to occur against these people in employment, housing, public accommodations, education, and more. So that is what we have to look forward to in 2026. In Iowa now, we've also banned Medicaid funding for gender-affirming care, not just for minors, but for everyone. So people will have to travel outside of Iowa, probably to Minnesota and Wisconsin, to receive gender-affirming care. And at the federal level, I'm sure we all know that there are continuous efforts to remove the recognition and the protection for any gender identity in the United States other than male and female. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done for LGBTQ+ rights. In immigration, some of us here at Peoples have been showing up, as I said just a minute ago, to the ICE office, where immigrants are going to have their routine check-in. They're doing what the law requires them to do, and some of them are being detained. An organization out of Iowa City, Escuche Mi Voz, has been keeping records of the individuals who are detained and then reaching out to their families to provide services and support. And as we all know, at the federal level, ICE continues to capture, sometimes violently, detain, and often deport people with no due process. And it appears that the U.S. Supreme Court is now poised to allow Trump's ending of birthright citizenship to stand. So, in immigration, there's a lot to do. Water quality. So there have been a lot of bills that have been introduced over the past few years in Iowa to improve the quality of the water here, and mostly they have not even gotten out of committee. So there's going to be a lot of lobbying efforts in the next few years to pass water protection bills. And in the meantime, citizen advocacy efforts are being developed and are working to test water quality on our own. And it's called the Nitrate Watch project, and it is something that we hope to implement next year here at Peoples with faith formation as well as with everybody else. So if you would turn to your ballots for the second Sunday plate collection, they are divided by the 3 priorities. First of all, does anybody have any comments on what I just said regarding those 3 priorities? Okay. So the organizations that are on a ballot are divided by water quality, immigration, and LGBTQ rights. So the first one is water quality, and there are 2 listed under that. One is the Driftless Water Defenders, which is headed up by Chris Jones, who is an expert on this matter of water quality in Iowa. He wrote the book Swine Republic, which we read earlier this year. So they do a lot of litigation. They're in court a lot trying to protect Iowa's waterways. The other one is the Isaac Walton League, and that is the group that does sponsor the Nitrate Watch projects, which mobilizes volunteers to monitor themselves the nitrate levels in streams, in creeks, in rivers, and even in our own drinking water, and report that so that that information can be used as documentation to get some of these bills passed. And then LGBTQ rights, there are 3 groups. The first 2 are local, CR Pride and Lavender Legal. And the third one is statewide, and that's the Trans Mutual Aid Fund, which provides funding to people who need it for gender-affirming care to travel out of state. And then lastly, immigration. There are 3. Catholic Worker House, which is in Iowa City, and they do have a shelter for immigrants. They also have the project, which is known as Escuchi Vivos. That is a group within the Catholic Worker House that has been organizing all of the protests and the rallies that have been occurring at the ICE office. And then the last group is known as Luna, and they work with the Latino community with survivors of domestic and sexual violence. So those are your choices. You get to choose 4. So mark your ballots for 4 choices, and then we'll turn them in at the end of the meeting. Just bring them to the back of the congregation. One last thing I want to share is that I have a personal goal this year. After being the social justice leader here for 10 years, believe it or not, I started in 2015, I feel it's time to move on from that role. So I will be phasing out as the chairman at sometime in 2026, and you'll have a new leader. So thank you very much.
All right, so the next update is from our Sacred Conversations steering team, Laura McGraw. Come on up. I'm just going to stand here, and you have to talk over me. I'll just lean over.
Hi, so I'm going to keep this brief. I serve on the steering team for Sacred Listening with David Meisler-Kubanek, Susan Petersmith, and Kathleen Mavidi. And I'm just going to give you a bit of an update as to where we've been and where we're going. As a reminder, this is a 3-phase project. Phase 1 was the sacred listening part, and we want to start by thanking all of the listeners and storytellers who agreed to participate in this project. We had, I believe, 13 listeners, and I think we're up to 52 storytellers, something like that. So a lot of great participation. And based on the feedback we received about these one-on-ones, this was a very positive experience for those involved. And connecting with other congregants on a deeper level was in itself a valuable and valuable experience and just a different way of ministering. Now, we are embarking on phase 2, which is the discernment phase. While we've had some guidance from the Gamaliel organization, each organization or congregation approaches this in a way that makes sense for them. And our steering team has begun meeting for phase 2 and looking at the data from all of the conversations in an attempt to consider as many perspectives as possible. We're reviewing stories and diving into the meanings, looking at what this says about peoples and what actions this might bring us to. We're looking for trends and ideas and talking about how we can use this information to affect meaningful change. That design and implementation part is phase 3. So part of our discussion now also is how to best include other congregants in the conversation, because we want everyone involved. So keep watching our communications for updates about opportunities to participate in this discussion. And let any of us on the steering team know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura and the steering team. And I'm just going to throw this out there that, you know, if you want to go and have a one-on-one with someone, you know, you can do that now. Anytime you can just sit down with someone from church and say, tell me about your faith journey, or really any other question you want to know, and just start a conversation. Okay, so it's my turn now. So good morning, everyone, and thank you again for coming to participate in the meeting. We really appreciate you coming out and attending online on this snowy morning. I observed a couple years ago that weather patterns seem to be about a weekly event. So that means Sundays might be a challenge for the next little while if it continues in this same fashion. So, since my tablet decided to not put me where I wanted to be, I'm now back. As outlined in the materials you received for this meeting today, our proposed 2026 budget includes a deficit. This is a choice made by the board to protect investments in staff leadership and ministries that nurture spiritual growth and multi-generational connection. The board proposes using reserves as a short-term bridge while we adapt and reinvent ourselves as a church for the 21st century. So many congregations are facing similar challenges to ours. Aging memberships, cultural shifts leading to lower attendance and rising costs. We have felt this, especially with the loss of some beloved long-term members and about $28,000 in pledges. These trends remind us that we are not alone. And yet, we still need to create a path that is unique to us and reflects who we are and what matters most to us. And we have reasons to hope. The budget reflects actions to stretch our resources, such as increasing the percentage of our endowment yield temporarily to increase our income, using our CD interest instead of investing it, again, temporarily. And the Faith Formation Council has decided to hold off on hiring a dedicated nursery attendant in favor of a more flexible approach. We're also deeply grateful for recent generous gifts that give us room to experiment with new ministries and projects. These gifts, combined with careful planning, position us to reimagine our church. And this isn't just about balancing our budget, whether it's a deficit or a surplus. It's about laying the foundation for who we are and the next chapter of our shared story. Every financial choice we make serves our mission to lead compassionate lives through spiritual growth and just action, and to sustain a community where people, like all of us in this room and online, find belonging and meaning. Because nearly half of U.S. adults report feeling lonely, and young adults spend far less time with friends than they did 2 decades ago. We're all craving connection and relationship. And here's the hopeful part: connection is powerful. Every time we create spaces for belonging, we counter risks of isolation that come from isolation, and offer something life-giving. And now, even though people may not be looking for a church, or they may not know that they're looking for a church, many long for a place to be known, to share life, and to find meaning. So when we nurture authentic relationships and spiritual depth here at People's Church, and we extend that to anyone who comes through our doors, we're not just sustaining our own congregation, we're also meeting a profound need in the wider world. In times of change, naming the challenge openly reduces anxiety and creates direction. Because when we speak the truth with care, we make space for courage, collaboration, and hope. So I'm naming our challenge. We need to find a new way to be church going forward if we want to continue to be a vital, vibrant, and welcoming congregation for the next 45 years, I guess, at this point. So what's next? Well, first we have a budget in front of us. Gary's going to come up and add a few words, and then we'll take your questions if you have any, and we will vote. Then beyond this moment, we get to remember that hope isn't just a theme for December. It's the work in front of us as we decide how to thrive in this changing and new world that we find ourselves in. And the good news is, this can be fun. We get to, now think about this, we get to imagine, we get to experiment, and we get to create the future of People's Church together. So, let's choose hope by trying some new things, learning as we go, and building the next chapter together. The board will be continuing to talk about this in the months ahead, and we will be continuing to communicate with you about where we are and what we would like to have you participate in as well. So, Gary?
So I think Robin's done an excellent job of giving a high-level overview of the discussions that have gone on. This was, as you can imagine, this has been a rough budgeting year for the finance team and the board. And so we've had a lot of discussions on what we can do. There's, as she outlined, there's some things that we've done, I'll call them, technical fixes about, if we do this, and, people, we've made some decisions, as Robin outlined, about not hiring a nursery person. We've made, staff have made some choices about, healthcare things that are helping us to save some money, but so at this point, I guess, if anyone has any questions, we sent out this short summary and then a more detailed one. If there's any specific questions, I'm here to take those and answer them. And so Hearing none, I guess I would like to make a motion to, oh. Are there any online? Oh, yeah. No? Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the proposed budget. Kathy? All right. Any discussion? Any online? No? All right. All those in favor, signify. All right. All those opposed? None? All right. It passes. Thank you.
So now is a reflection of the fact that all of the work we do together is a sacred act, is an act of community and care. Lou will lead us in a brief ritual.
This time I really do have the words. Good job, guys. We are going to begin with a hope chorus. We will speak hope into the room. I invite you to say one word of hope, any word that matters to you, and we will do it together like a chorus. Choose your word. One, two, three. Community. Hope isn't just something we feel, it's something we choose and practice together. Let's take a moment to breathe in hope and let go of fear. Breathe in hope. Breathe out fear. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe out anxiety. Breathe in hope. Breathe out fear. Breathe in generosity. Breathe out isolation. Breathe in hope. Breathe out fear. Though our hopes may sound different, together they create harmony. May these hopes guide us forward.
Are there any other matters for the good of the church? Any online? Thank you. Oh, we do have one. Hang on a moment. We do have a microphone for you. Or do you want to come up here and talk in front of everybody? You've got 3 minutes.
Actually, it's just an acknowledgement. It's kind of going along with Lou's statement about what we have to be grateful for. Jill Jones has done such yeoman service for us with food for so long, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of how we've continued to get nourishment while she's on sabbatical, and Robin's taken a lot of that on herself, and she's kept us caffeinated, and a lot of other people step up, and I just want to acknowledge that when we need to take care of each other, we do a good job. So thanks, Robin, and thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Now all are invited to read aloud our words to extinguish the chalice, which are there, yes. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Aaron Ogle's hand was up first. Second? Lou wants to second something. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. And thank you again.
Please return your ballots.
Hey, well-
They are cleverly marked with colors so that we can't have any falsification.
So Lou has asked you to return your ballots to Lou or to the back pew so that they are, so because of voting integrity processes around People's Church, we take these ballots very seriously. And let me offer you a benediction before we sing ourselves out. As you move forth into your weeks, may you know deep hope and deeper joy, spreading the love that we practice here at People's Church with those you meet, knowing always that you have enough and that you are enough. Go in peace, and let us sing number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere. Please rise in all the ways that we do.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy
And remember to sign the book for David Kind if you would like. It's up here. Actually, I'll just go ahead and put it in the administrator's office. So come to the administrator's office to sign the book if you would like. No, take it to